And back on sort of the anniversary type things, what's the biggest mistake you made in your first year?
Sitting here with you. No,
Well, the second biggest mistake.
No, look, I think it was the one thing that I screwed up, and this was when we were going back through the ag appropriations, and it was the Pickford vote. I remember the day, it was like 27 different amendments, and the things that I was really paying attention to was like subsidies, ethanol, all this type of stuff. And I did not really understand the Pickford vote, and I voted for it when I should have voted against it, so that was it.
What about in terms of any of the stylistic things? Your comments get a lot of attention, whether it's about...
That's only because you guys like to write about it, and you guys get a lot of circulation, but, I am who I am.
Well, but in hindsight.
No hindsight.
But in hindsight.
No hindsight.
Come on.
No, there's not any
You don't
hindsight.
regret any of it?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Joseph Goebbels versus, maybe if you had P.T. Barnum, that flap wouldn't have happened.
No flap for me. I still got invited to 3 menorah lightings. So, I mean, yeah, no flap for me.
Are you overexposed on Fox or any of the other national outlets that like to have you on because sometimes you say some provocative things?
No, I don't think I say anything provocative, and people are concerned about it. They got a remote control, change the channel.
So what's the biggest surprise you've had in the first year? Or what do you know now that you didn't know a year ago?
Well, I've said this quite often, that there are some people that have a comfort with not telling the truth. And I am also concerned about what I call the politics of demagoguery. A 2-month payroll tax extension is one of the most insane things I've ever heard of in my life. You cannot do tax policy by 2 months. And so what's going to come about is another kabuki dance within the next month or so. We passed a piece of legislation in the House, bipartisan support, that extended the payroll tax for a year. It was paid for, so you would not have seen any detriment to Social Security like we saw in this past year. Unemployment benefits extended, but we had reforms to that because we need to get people back to work. We had the sustained growth rate for the next 2 years, which gives certainty to our doctors out there, especially down here, where you have so many people on Medicare. And we need to have this Keystone XL project approved and promoted. The ambassador to Canada came and visited me in my office and said, this is a dire situation because if not to America, it's going to go west, and it's going to go to somebody else. So I think that when I look at so many things that have happened, we have got to get people to stand up on principle, and we've got to get people that believe in good policy and not good politics. Right now we've got to make sure that we are in the right type of talks with Israel to make sure that we back their call, because the most important thing for Prime Minister Netanyahu is to protect the citizens of the State of Israel. But if they take an action, it's the second and third order effects that we have to be considering, because when you look at 50,000 medium and long range rockets and missiles that are in southern Lebanon under the control of Hezbollah that can strike every single city in Israel, when you look at Hamas, Islamic Jihad, Al-Quds, Al-Aqsa Martyr Brigade that are operating out of the Gaza Strip, and in this month we will see an Egypt that will be controlled, their parliament, by the Muslim Brotherhood and other radical Islamist groups. They're predicting 65 to 70%. And you got to be really concerned about what happens with the Sinai Peace Accords. Mm-hmm. So.